You can multitask with an older woman. You can rub her feet and the titties at the same time. Older woman.
Listen, Gerald.
Is it possible to headline with no jokes? I don't know. Actually, I do. Stay right here. Headlining with no jokes. We some crazy bastards. Yes, I occasionally do some headlining with no jokes. It's called Hostlining, and it's fun. But before we get into that, I want you to hit that little bell. There's a little bell down there. You hit that little bell, and that'll keep you up on the notifications. So when I got a new video, you right up on it. All right? Let's do this. And don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, give me a little heart. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to have some fun with this.
Gerrold!
Yes, give it up again for Miss JoJo. One of my favorite sex partners. We ain't never really had sex. It's all in my mind. Can't hold my liquor here, so. How you doing? Eyes up here. Straight to the dick. Jesus. Right to the penis. She got the fuck me pumps on today, too. Who are you here with? Who's just her? You got a black friend too? That's good. That's what we want to see going into 2018. We want to see some interracial friendships. How you doing? The arms are tight. You okay over there? You good? Loosen up, man. He's got the biggest testicle pile in there. Show him. Move your hand. Let everyone see your testicle pile. Got the best balls. I tripped over him coming up to the stage. Show him the balls, Zach. Big balls. The man's got... Look at her. I did not come here for this Negro comedy. Y'all all friends, everybody just say?
Yeah, we're friends.
Looks like a weird ass sitcom. You the white grandma that everybody go to her house and shit? You know how to make collard greens and shit? That's why the black people come over and she make collard greens. You ever dated a black man? You ever? She said that shit offensively. Hell fucking no.
Now that's a question you got to ask yourself. Is it possible to headline with no jokes? And I would say yes. I've tried it a few times and I've had some success. I've had some lackluster moments that require you to go, uh-oh, I got to bail on this and start telling real material. But on occasion, and usually it's at private shows, I've had the luxury of being able to just bag all the material and just play with the crowd and successfully survive an hour on stage talking shit.
Give it up for Gary. Give it up for Gary. JerroldB is not my real name. That's my I'm in Glen Rock tonight name. Give it up for Garrett's sweater. Doesn't he look like he That sweater comes with a van and a rape charge. That's it. Welcome to Garrett's neighborhood. That's it. That was a scary goddamn sweater right there. There you go. Give it up for this fella right here. He forgot his yarmulke tonight. You got yarmulke hair. Are you Jewish? Yarmulke hair. You saw that shit. Give it up for Coach Michael Arion over here. He looks like a coach. I mean, he does not look like every little league coach you've ever seen. Every coach you've ever seen is this. We're gonna win, goddammit! Get out of here, Timmy! But I thought it was about fun. Fuck fun! Fun is winning! giving him a blowjob. I think I'm gonna put Bobby in tomorrow. That's what it's like. Get out for the Aryan Nation over here. These my brothers right here. My brother Bobby and my other brother Bobby.
Now, what does that require? That requires a lot of quick-wittedness, and a lot of us have more quick-wittedness than we think. It's the reason why we become comedians sometimes. Some of us are just incredible writers. Some of us sit around and are goofballs at our job. We're goofballs at school, at home, whatever the case may be. There's something that drove you to being a comedian. And in some cases, you're just that person who can react very quickly off of whatever's happening around them. Somebody makes a comment, bam, you're right on it.
Anybody in this room having sex tonight? Anybody? Look at this guy. He's like, I'm gonna find somebody. Ain't got no plans yet. I got a van full of gas. Nobody tell you what happened to the penis. Don't get hard like it used to. My dick look like he on vacation. My dick crosses the balls like they legs. I got an Audi, so he uses it as a pillow. What are we gonna do today? What are you gonna do today? I'm getting so old, I can't even enjoy porn no more. I'm serious, I'm getting old. I was watching porn the other day. I saw a girl, I was like, this little girl should be home with her mom. Put that dick down and go get your GED! My name is Gerald. You guys have a great night.
And a lot of us do it right on social media. You ever, a comedian will put up a comment and then 9,000 comedians come in with their funny thing like we're all on audition. So we have the innate ability to be quick-witted, something that is an absolute requirement if you decide to bag your jokes and do what is called hostlining, a title that was given to me, or is a generic title. I don't know, I gotta ask her. Because that's what when this particular comedian I met, I actually did that on that particular night. It's not rocket scientists. You have to be able to take the information from here with just a tiny bit of filtration and then emit it from your face hole. Now, what I mean by a little bit of filtration is you don't want to, say any crazy shit when you're up there, and we tend to say some outlandish things at times.
How you doing, sister girl? Hold on. Who you got a boyfriend? Huh? What's that? Oh, I like this. We got some different stroke shit going up in here. Ronald Jackson and Mr. Drummond over here. Did you go over another country and get her, or did you find her? What y'all do? Pick up Newark? Just grabbed her, threw in the back of the car, came over to person. We got us a black one. We got us a black one. Next week, Asian. Look, there's a Chinese girl right there. You can have a whole collection. We got some Indians in the back. You can fucking have a whole Brad Pitt shit going in the house. Anything you want here. We got a big bald white guy who does not smile for shit. What is wrong with you? You okay? The most serious motherfucker I've ever seen. Got the prettiest set of testicles in the whole world. Why don't you look at his balls? Look at take a look. Look at him. Damn, fucking he's like, stop, goddammit. Stop it. He does have a wonderful set, doesn't he? Look at his wife. She's like, I'm happy as a pig and shit. They're wonderful balls. Are you Jewish? Yeah, you do. You look like you fart receipts. You are. You look like you ring his doorbell. Who thought was a rich man? I'm just teasing you. Stop. Still hiding the balls. No matter what I say, the balls are hidden. Look at this guy. He's just squinting the whole fucking night. If you gonna squint, take the fucking glasses off. It don't matter. You squinting with glasses on. You blind as fuck. He just got the glasses on and still looking. Take them off. Look at his balls. I can promise your eyes will open.
Freestyling is great. Freestyling allows you the ability to learn your crowd and create a rapport with your crowd, and therefore making it easier for you to deliver material sometimes. Some of the greats usually start their sets off with some type of little bit of hostlining, if not a lot of hostlining. I've seen guys go up and do the whole show freestyle, and sometimes it's not freestyle. Sometimes it's well-placed, pre-written material, but it just flows like freestyle. But the ability to freestyle is great. It's the icebreaker. When you meet somebody, before you start giving them all of this and of that, it's just the fun banter that you create that kind of loosens up the moment. Okay? Just remember that. And then, in order to host line, you need to be able to keep that up for 45 to an hour, which is not an easy feat. It's good if it works. If it don't work, you better have your material ready. The crowd starts going down a little bit and you can't bring them back up. You got to bag that and get back to what you know. Okay? Hostlining is not for everybody, but freestyling is. I think freestyling is a great practice in learning how to be a better comedian. If you got a couple shows coming up, shows that aren't really that important, shows that are fun, shows that are not going to get you to Comedy Central tomorrow, feel free to take a few of them, especially if they're non-paid, just small shows. You go in and you're going to learn to freestyle. It's just a great practice in being a better comedian. You don't lose anything by not being the best person in the world at these shows, you know? Now, I'm not saying if you have a good show, don't go, hey, there's 300 people in here. Here's a good time for me to hope the hell this works. No, I'm just saying that take the opportunity to learn how to be a little more relaxed with the crowd, and I can promise you it's going to help you in the long run. Because if you are a year into comedy and you're still learning your voice and you're still locked into your material, you're still a little fearful of taking chances, the only thing I can suggest to you is to bag your jokes and eliminate the fear. Because that's all it is fear. We're bound by fear. When I started comedy, the first thing I did was, first I decided I was going to be Richard Pryor. So all my jokes were his. After I got a little bit of watching the masters do it, I started to learn to write jokes. After writing jokes, I realized that I sounded too mechanical. I didn't want to sound mechanical. I didn't want to get up there and blah, 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 thank you very much. Like, that wasn't me. And I knew I wasn't going to find my voice until I was the same psycho idiot that I was in real life. So what I did was I picked a few shows. I picked 5 shows to be exact. And I decided I'm not telling one joke at those shows. I'm going to go to those shows and I'm going to say whatever I need to say. Maybe I'll have a opening joke. I would have like a joke to open just to get the crowd on my side and then proceed to just freestyle the show. By the end of the 5 shows, I not only lost a lot of the fear of jumping off that bridge, taking that leap, but I had began to be so comfortable with myself that I was like, oh, I got this. Now I know how to be me on stage. Now I found my voice because I'm me every time I get up there. Now, I'm not saying this is not for everybody. You may not be that style of comedian. You have to be that style of comedian to get up there and freestyle. You got to be a D.L. Hughley. You got to be a Mike Epps, a Cat Williams, a Kevin Hart, J.B. Smoove. These guys get up on stage and just wow out. So it is a style of comedian a lot of times, but it doesn't mean that just because you're not that type of comedian that you can't interact with a crowd without material. It's a great thing to learn to know. Now, can everybody host line? Hell to the no. And even the people that host line are not doing it every time. It's just something that when it works, it's an incredible thing. So I say keep writing, keep performing, but do yourself a favor and learn the ability to catch those social cues, interact with the crowd, and just level yourself up. Okay? All right, if you like this video, you know what to do. You need to put a comment. You need to like it. There's a little heart too. Feel free to just give me a little heart. And of course, subscribe, because I'm still talking a lot of mess. You can also check my website, JerroldB.com. I have some blogs on there as well. And I also have my friends who are fellow comedians who also blog on my site, and they have some great insight and some stuff that I didn't even think about. So, again, you keep hustling out there doing what you're doing, and, take a few shows, bag them, and be you, the same you that got you to the stage in the first place. I'm JerroldB. And I'm out.
Well, we gotta end this night out. We gotta. I always say goodbye to everybody when the show's over. So I just want to Herschel, you and your lovely wife. I hope you have 100 years of success, and I hope them balls don't get any bigger. You won't be able to wear jeans no more. You, sir, you need a new eye prescription. You can't see shit. You got a beautiful woman. Probably don't even know that. At this table, you guys have fun, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. It's suburban life forever. That sexy, whatever the fuck y'all doing. My Asian, Korean, Japanese, whatever the fuck. Learn to dance, but keep doing what you're doing. Ocean City, fucking
Oceanport.
whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit. My favorite sitcom. Keep doing what the fuck you doing. Keep adopting children of other races. Make the world a better place. Your titties, I love them. I'll see you later. Room 425. 425. Everybody over here, yeah. But hey, you keep it good, Professor. You keep it good. Got a beautiful woman. You know what? If your dick don't work, put the cane between your ass cheeks and bang her with that. It works. It works. I'm telling you. It works.